Today we're going to discover the incredible story of Sofia Martinez, an 11-year-old girl from Texas, United States, who returned from death with a terrifying message from Jesus. What she saw could change our vision of the future and may be directly related to world leaders, including Donald Trump. Her testimony is both fascinating and unsettling. What does this message mean? Could it announce an imminent event? Stay until the end to understand everything from where you are watching. Let us know in the comments, subscribe, give a like, and get ready for a revelation that could change it all. My name is Sofia Martinez. I am 11 years old and I live in Texas, in a small town near Houston. My story begins on a summer day, the 14th of July, 2023. Before this shocking event, I was just a regular girl, carefree and full of life. I loved spending time with my family, playing with my little sister Lily, who is 7 years old, and drawing for hours. I enjoyed school, although I wasn't the best at mathematics. What I loved most were stories and science. I was fascinated by learning how the world worked, but I never imagined I would experience something so strange and inexplicable. My family was religious and we went to church almost every Sunday. However, for me, religion was more of a habit, something we did without questioning it too much. I prayed before going to sleep, but without really understanding why God existed. Of course, I had never felt his presence in a strong or direct way. Death, on the other hand, was a distant idea. It affected much older people or those mentioned in the news. I never thought it could touch me, being only 11 years old. Days before my accident, I felt a strange sensation. I didn't know why, but I felt different, as if something was about to happen. I had strange dreams that I couldn't fully understand, and some nights I would wake up with a sense of unease. One night, I dreamed that I was floating in a dark place with no sounds or points of reference. That dream left a mark on me, but I didn't tell anyone. After all, it was just a dream. The morning of the 14th of July seemed normal. It was hot, and my parents decided to organize a family outing to Lake Livingston, a place we used to go in the summer. I was excited to swim and play with my sister. However, upon arriving, I felt a strange sensation, a silent warning in my mind, an alert that I couldn't understand. I even hesitated before entering the water, but I thought it was just my imagination. The water was pleasantly cool under the scorching heat of Texas. Lily and I were playing near the shore, while our parents talked a little further away. I moved slightly away, enjoying the solitude, but then everything changed. A feeling of heaviness overwhelmed me. My arms and legs stopped obeying. I tried to swim toward the shore, but an invisible force was dragging me toward the bottom. I tried to scream, but no sound came out of my mouth. My heart was racing and an immense fear enveloped me. I struggled, felt trapped as if something was absorbing me. Then everything turned dark. When I saw Jesus standing before me, everything inside me froze. He looked at me with immense tenderness, but also with a sadness I did not yet understand. He told me that what I was about to see was important and that I should remember everything. Around me, the scene changed. I saw an immense city bathed in sunlight. People walked along the streets, talking among themselves. Everything seemed normal. However, deep within me, a strange feeling grew. Something was not right. Suddenly, the sky darkened. A shadow covered the buildings, and a strong wind began to blow. In an instant, the scene turned chaotic. I heard a deep rumble, and the buildings started to collapse like castles made of sand. A gigantic wave appeared, sweeping everything in its path. Fire mixed with water, and smoke darkened the sky. I saw people running in all directions, children calling for their parents, families separating amidst panic. In front of me, enormous screens displayed political figures. Among them, I recognized Donald Trump. He was standing with a solemn look, surrounded by people who appeared worried. He was speaking, but I couldn't make out his words. All around, the crowds were agitated, some with anger, others with despair. I felt that what I was witnessing was connected with crucial decisions, with something that would change the entire world. Then everything went dark. Chaos gave way to an absolute void. I heard whispers, cries. I felt presences around me, hands reaching for a way out in the darkness. A cold fear took hold of me. Suddenly, an intense light broke through the darkness. Jesus appeared before me, surrounded by a radiant glow. I didn't need to speak. I already felt what he wanted to tell me, but he still pronounced these words. Many will be deceived. They will seek saviors among men and forget the truth. Then, new images paraded before my eyes. I saw wars erupting, multitudes in rebellion, protests across the earth. There was violence, fear, faces twisted by anguish, countries tearing themselves apart, and no one knew in whom to trust. Later, I saw a huge building filled with men in suits, debating and signing agreements. I didn't know exactly what they were doing, but I felt that they had something important in their hands. Yet behind them, hidden in the shadows, an invisible force seemed to pull the strings. A total silence followed. I sank into darkness, but in the distance, a light persisted. A magnificent throne shone, illuminating everything around it. Jesus was there, looking at me intensely. "Time is shorter than many think," he told me. "Those who still ignore this call will soon have to face the truth." A new vision appeared. I saw an immense desert where multitudes walked aimlessly. They were thirsty, searching for something, but they didn't know what. Some fell, others kept moving forward. Looking up at the sky suddenly, a light descended from the heavens, and a voice resounded, "Let he who has ears listen." But many turned away, preferring to remain in the shadows. Then a golden book opened before me. Its pages wrote themselves as if an invisible force were moving them. I tried to read, but before I could understand, Jesus placed his hand on my shoulder. "This message is not just for you," he said. "You must share it." I felt a weight in my chest. Why me? Why should I, being so young, have these experiences? An immense fear overwhelmed me. "Do not be afraid," continued Jesus. "What you have seen is a warning. Many will choose not to listen, but those who have faith will understand." Everything began to spin around me. A sensation of falling pierced me with sudden pain, and I opened my eyes again. Around me, worried faces leaned over me, voices murmured, and hands held me. I had returned, but nothing within me was as it was before. In the following days, these images continued to torment me. Each night they came back again and again. The chaos, the faces filled with fear, the words of Jesus repeating that time was short. I could no longer pretend that I knew nothing. I was terrified, but I knew I had to speak. The experience I had was not merely a dream, it was a warning, a message that I could not keep only for myself. Jesus entrusted me with a responsibility, and although it scared me, I had to fulfill it. What I saw taught me that every day counts. We must pay attention to our choices and not be distracted by the illusions of the world. I also understood that fear must not paralyze us. What I saw was terrifying, but Jesus also showed me that there is hope for those who listen. Today I share my story not to scare, but to awaken consciences. There is still time, but less than we think. We must prepare ourselves not only by observing what happens in the world, but also by changing our hearts. I am just a girl, but what I experienced gave me certainty. It is time to open our eyes. This impactful testimony reminds us of how immense our existence is, far beyond what we perceive. The revelations I received pose deep questions about our future and our role in what is to come. Are we truly ready to listen to these warnings and change our way of living? If this story has moved you, do not hesitate to subscribe to the channel to discover other incredible testimonies. Give a like to support this type of content and share this video with your loved ones so that this message reaches more people. And what do you think about this experience? Do you believe in the signs that some people receive after a near-death experience? Have you experienced something similar? Share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to read and converse with you. Stay connected for more fascinating stories and take care. See you very soon with a new story that could change your view of the world.